Hey friends, it's Carrie with Homestead by the Highway, and I am back. We are finally going to take a moment and dig up these potatoes. These are ones, if you remember, that I planted. I was going to look it up before this. I'll throw it in there. I planted them a while ago, and they were ones that were in my cupboard that started sprouting, so I sliced them so that there were eyes on different ones and let them scar over, dry out on the outside, whatever you want to call it. And then I just threw them in my side flower bed right behind me. This is the area where I started my first garlic a long time ago, probably about 4 years ago. And they are ready to be dug up. They've probably been ready for a while. And I came down sick, and so I wasn't able to get out here, but we got a bunch of rain for several days. So I came out, threw a piece of cardboard over them because I did not want them getting mushy. I hope that helped. I hope I didn't mess up my experiment. So they are gonna look yellowed because they have gotten no sunshine for about 5 days. So we're gonna get them dug up and see what happens. All right, so this area here is where I had those potatoes. I don't expect a lot. It was a total experiment. But if you follow me on Instagram as well, and I will put that down below, it's just at Homestead by the Highway. I'm over there as well. I did a little post about, I have voles running through here. So we also are going to learn to see if we can cohabitate or if I need to relocate them before I do any more planting here. So let's see what we got. I hope these potatoes aren't ruined. This is really, really wet hay and stuff in here. I got a potato. So it's a nice little red potato. These are just a couple little tiny ones. So I'm hoping to find some other things in here. Now I did this sort of root style method is what they call it. And I just laid down some dirt, and then I set the potatoes on, and then I just covered it in this straw or hay. I don't remember which one it was. But I just found a whole pile of potatoes. So right here, I don't know if you can see that or not. I got a handful of little potatoes. I went with this style and method because I didn't want to have to dig in the dirt, and I heard that's really messy, and I didn't want to do that. We have walnut trees right above us. If you haven't seen one of my other videos, those all came off of just one little planting, one little chunk of potatoes, and there's more here. So, in this little spot, I have a bunch of roly-polies. What I'm assuming is that is not going to be the original. That's just going to be a rotten potato. That'd have been a good potato, but he looks like he's rotting. So it looks like I got a rotten one there. All right, so wasn't that fun? There wasn't much here, and I didn't expect much. This was one of those things where I had a couple of bad potatoes, or sprouting potatoes, and wanted to put them in the ground, and I had a little bit of space. So I decided, is potato something that I want to do? Is it something that I want to grow? So let's just try out a little bit and see what happens. So I have enough for us to throw into a pot roast or something like that and cook in a meal, which is more than I could have done with the couple that I had in the cupboard that were sprouting and not looking all that great. So I do have some fresh potatoes for us to have for dinner one night, the next couple of nights. And will I do it again? Oh, heck yeah. It was easy. I also saw that the voles did not do anything to them. They stayed. There is a cloth way underneath this dirt, a fabric cloth, and they live under that. So they stayed under there. So we cohabitated well together. So I may extend this out and around into the flower bed next year, or I'm actually thinking about maybe making a bigger section out back. I'm trying to figure that out right now as I dream big for next year. And let's check out a couple other things we got going on with the potatoes. Here I did have only, I was going to show you, this biggest one did have a rotting spot on it, and I had 3 other little ones, probably about as big as a gumball, that were rotted. So that's all that were bad that I found. So we'll see. And I literally did nothing, you guys. I stuck them on the dirt, threw the hay over them, and never touched them again. Never. I didn't water them. I did not fertilize them. I did not hill them. I did not change the hay or straw. I did nothing. So what I got out of here was little or no work. Could I have saved these rotted ones? Probably, if I'd have gotten out here a week ago like I wanted to. That one may have been fine a week or so ago. So, and if I'd have gotten them out a little sooner, they did sit on my back porch for about 4 or 5 days before I actually got them into the ground. So they may have done better had I had gotten them into the ground as soon as I had cut them and they had healed over. Anyways, let's see what else we got going on in the garden. Whew, the sun is extra bright, but I will tell you what, I have been holed up in the house for about 5 days now. And I am so excited to be outside, and I'm going to rip out my bean plants. But as I'm walking out here, I noticed that I have a lot of netting all at one end of my blueberry plants. And I can't figure out, I'm like, how did so much spare netting get shoved to that end of my little cage here? So this is my little blueberry cage thing that my husband has made for my blueberries, and I'm walking up and I did not even notice that none of this has netting. It's all missing. Somehow the netting has been ripped and all put down to this end, and I think you can see it in the sunshine, but it is all wound up down here. So I don't know if a critter got to it or it came undone, but it was zip tied, so I'll have to further inspect. That being said, these are the bean plants. I got 2 pickings off of them. I don't know off the top of my head how many pounds, like just a couple of pounds. Not as much as I had hoped for, but it was more than nothing, which is what I would have gotten had I not planted anything. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull all these out because I noticed that some, when I was picking them, had slugs on them. I've never had any pest in this bed. I want to make sure that I have this cleaned out and ready to go before I have to plant the garlic goes here. So I'm going to get these out today real quick. And we're still That was almost dangerous. It has a big hole in it. That one looks good. I should have brought a bucket. I'm gonna go find a bucket. I can still smell my mums. Tiny little beans. All right, so I tore out the beans. I'm just gonna leave that other scrap stuff stay. I'm also leaving the marigolds in because they're so flowery, so pretty, and just because they look pretty until I put the garlic out here. So I will get the rest of this cleaned out. I do have a snow pea plant here. I'll share that with you. This was my makeshift quick throw it in trellis. This is my Where's Waldo game with snow peas. I don't know, I've probably gotten 25 or 30 of them out of there. I keep getting tons of flowers and no actual beans. So it doesn't look like there's an animal. We do have deer. It doesn't look like the deer have been coming and eating off of it. But it's really just not making any snow peas. Like I said, I've eaten 20 or 30 of them just out here. Like we haven't even cooked them because there's been no time. I just get in here and look around and see if I can find one, and when I do, I eat it. So I'm gonna let this go because it is really pretty. Oh, I don't know if you can see it or not. Right in here, see, they hide. Here's another one. Thought I saw another one up here. So they are challenging to find, but when I do, I just eat them because they're delicious while they're out here. All the nutrients are in them when it's freshest picked, so why not just eat it now? And I found 3. Here's 2 more. I don't know if you can see with the sunshine. They're almost, you can see the little peas in it. They're so pretty. Excuse me while I have a snack. I do see about 6 more that are not ready yet. They're paper thin. They don't have any width to them. You can't see the beans inside. But now I'm about to show you an ugly hot mess. So this over here, I hope the sun's not too bright, is my zucchini plant. I've never planted zucchini before. If you followed my other videos, I've gotten a handful of zucchini out of it, but we're pulling these out today because They are so full of powdery, like, I know you can't see that because of the sun. They're powdered over, and I just want to get this end of the bed, like I said, cleaned out, because this is my garlic bed, and I want to give it some time to rest and amend it before garlic has to go in. It doesn't go in until November. For me, here in Southwest Michigan, I plant it sometime mid-November. Usually when it's sleeting outside is the day that I get to come out and do it. But it's always a fun adventure, but I want to get this out. So I do have the snow peas who have found their way over here. Look at these. See, they hide. Oh, you can see that one in the sunshine. That is so cool. And then you just eat them. That's why none of them make it into the house. These snow peas were the ones that I picked up when I went to pick up my peaches, and they were like 84 cents for like 200 seeds or something like that. So I threw some in there. Oh my gosh, you guys, I cannot believe what I keep finding. I have to show you this. All right, I even took my camera off of the stand because I really wanted to be able to get down here with this. This thing is so fat. He's just cute and chubby, and he doesn't look as ginormous as what he does in person. But then I looked over, and I don't even, you can start to see it. I thought that was growing out of the ground. Like, I thought it was a stem. And it's a bean that I keep missing. He's huge. Oh, he's overcooked. Darn it, he's overcooked. He's yellow and sad. And now I see a couple more on this side. Darn it, I told you these are like, where's Waldo? And I can't keep up with them. Here's another one. Hot mess. All right, so what I did learn from this experiment is that these need more room to trellis. You can't build one trellis for like 20 plants and try to trellis them all in. You guys watching this are gonna do what I do when I watch other people's channels. I'm like, oh, you're missing one, you're missing one. Pretty the flowers are. Oh, they're just so pretty. Look at that. All right, so we are out here, and I'm going to pull these plants. These plants were the craziest thing. They grew so crazy. They curled and curled and curled. I don't know if it's the type of plant I have out here. I just moved this. Part of the reason why I want to get these out is because these guys, I don't even know if you can see them because there's so much dirt. I have a ton of slugs in here, and I've never had slugs in here before. All I've ever planted in here is garlic, and then I just leave the bed empty, and then I bring garlic back in. Well, this year I planted this zucchini down here. I planted the beans. So I'm hoping I didn't mess up my garlic bed. So what's going to happen with this? We are just going to uproot this bad boy. This here is a type of mushroom that has been growing. I've had 4 or 5 of them come up out of this flower or this bed here that I've never had before. I just let them do their thing normally, but I happened to see it, so I thought I'd share it with you. It is a type of mushroom. Let's get these zucchinis out of here and quit squirreling. Now, that being said, this plant that has never produced anything Has 2 zucchini on it. And I am still getting zucchini, but I am pulling these off. Like I said, these leaves are so white, and it would probably be fine to stay, but I want this bed to have some time to recover. Oh, look at this little guy. Sorry, little guy. I don't know. I'm just gonna... I had another one there. This one has not grown a single zucchini all year. This one has given me some monsters. See, this is the bottom of this vine. And everybody's like, oh, vine borers, blah, 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 whatever, all these diseases, and it's trunked up like this. Maybe that's normal and I'm overthinking it. Snow peas. But it gave me, I can't even remember how many pounds of zucchini. It's been crazy. And there's another little one here that started to rot. But we're gonna put him to rest. That is what that, if you can see that or not. This vine, I'm going to try to show you, but I don't even know if you're going to be able to tell on camera how absolutely massive this is. Like, this is the biggest mum. It is baseball size. It is so huge. I'll show you the ones in the garden cage. We'll go over there really quick. Oh, look, a snow pea. All right, last of the cleanup, at least that we're going to be able to get accomplished today. We're going to get a little bit done in this garden cage. I don't know as though I will get it all. As I said at the beginning of the video, I've been down for a few days, so this is the most I've done. But look at these mums, y'all. Holy Hannah banana. They are tall. There is all the way up to my elbow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm going to get the tomato plants ripped out. I do have over here a couple of peppers that are trying to make a go of it. We're going to let them go. I hear walnuts falling behind my head. I have a pickle that I didn't know was out here because I haven't been out here in a week. A pickle, a cucumber. Everything to me in the garden, if you're a cucumber, you're automatically a pickle. That's where my brain goes. And you can see I have massive walnuts, like huge walnuts in here. But let's get these tomato plants out. So this is what's left in the garden cage. And we are going to rip out all the tomato plants. And over here, right there, there's a giant pickle, cucumber that got missed. And look at all the walnuts that have fallen in here, y'all. It is crazy. So let's get this cleaned out really quick. And I'll do what I can today. And I may have to come back and finish it on another day. And this that I had gotten back out here is from my cilantro. These dried pieces here are actually can be seeds. I have tons of seeds, but you can, if you get them a little sooner than I did, crush them and turn them into coriander. So that is something that maybe next time I'll be able to make it out in time. These are the little twisty things. I don't even know where I picked them up. I got a bag of them a few years back. And so every year as I take them down, I try to hang them in one spot so I come out and put them in a little cup so I can use them from year to year. These are probably 3 years old at least. This was a pepper plant we picked up at the farmer's market, and I see that it's still flowering and trying to grow peppers. I have a nice little hot mess going on under there. All right, friends, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to do a little bit more out here, and then I have to go in and rest. That's about all I can do today. But I do want to say thank you so much for coming along. Thank you for sharing in my journey. And as we wrap up the garden, I am going to do out here. I'm going to clean out most of this walnut stuff and cover this in cardboard. The more I read, things don't like to grow in black walnuts, so I have been blessed by every ounce of food I've gotten out of this space.